All right. So, a consumer magazine surveyed people who sought a psychologist's help with a personal problem. Of those responding who had received treatment for 6 months or less, 20% claimed that the treatment made things a lot better. 20%? Wow. It's not very many. So people go find a psychologist. They say, help me out. And if they had received treatment for 6 months or less, then only 20% of them claimed that the treatment made things a lot better. I guess the 80% could have said it made things better, just not a lot better. But only 20% said it made things a lot better. Don't waste your money on a psychologist. Of those responding who had received longer treatment, okay, so 6 months or more than 6 months, 36% claimed that the treatment made things a lot better. Okay, so if you go for longer, a higher percentage of people say good things. Therefore, psychological treatment lasting more than 6 months is more effective than shorter term treatment. Which one line of true most seriously weakens the argument? Because it's a weakened question, we know there's got to be a problem. So, does it have to be true that psychological treatment lasting more than 6 months is more effective than shorter term treatment? I mean, a couple things. One, these respondents these people are self-reporting, right? They're saying 36 claim that the treatment made things a lot better. Well, what does that mean? Is it really more effective or not? I mean, I guess psychological help is all mental anyway, but another problem here is that both of these groups actually are self-selecting, right? Like, of those responding who had received a treatment of 6 months or less, 20% claimed that the treatment made things a lot better. Of those who responded who received longer treatment, 36 claimed it, right? So what's going on? If things aren't going well with your psychologist, are you going to continue? Probably not, right? So you have 100 people, and of those 100 people, 20 say, hey, it helped me a lot. Well, of the 80 that remain, maybe a lot of them said, I'm out of here. This isn't helping me at all. So then you go to those who have received longer treatment, and now 36% of them claim that things got a lot better, but maybe that's because only those people who were really happy or somewhat happy with how things were going stuck with the psychologist, right? Like, in that case, we would expect the percentage of people who are happy to go up. It's the same phenomenon I feel like I see all the time with season 1 and season 2, right? Like, if you go on to Amazon and you're watching some show or Netflix or whatever, you look at the season 1 reviews and it's like 4.5 stars or something like that, right? And then you look at the season 2 reviews and it's like 4.9 stars. Well, one reaction is to say, oh wow, they really got things going in the second season. They did such a better job in the second season. And look how happy people are. Well, maybe season 1 is where everyone's like trying out the show. Like, let me see this show. Let me go see if I like it. And if they don't like it, then they leave and they never go to season 2. Everyone who liked the show goes to season 2. So you would expect the rankings or the ratings to go up in season 2. If they don't go up, that's not good, right? Like, you brought a lot of people on board and everybody's like, I love this show. I want to keep watching it. And now the diehard fans don't like it. That's not good. So I feel like the same thing is going on here. We expect the ratings to go up, not because the treatment's actually better, but because the group of people who are responding to the survey are the ones who are sympathetic to the treatment, more sympathetic to the treatment than the initial group. All right. So, is psychological treatment lasting more than 6 months more effective? It could be, but it could also just be that we have like these bias groups or something. Which one of five, if true, most seriously weakens the argument? Of the respondents who had received treatment for longer than 6 months, 10% that the treatment made things worse. Okay, 10% said it made things worse. What percentage of people said that it made things worse for the people who got shorter treatment? We don't know. A doesn't provide any sort of comparison between the two, so useless and wrong. B, patients who had received treatment for longer than 6 months were more likely to respond to the survey than were those who had received treatment for a shorter time. That's kind of interesting. So, I wonder if this is tapping into what we were just talking about. This is just... So the people who had received treatment for longer were more likely to respond. So of the people who got longer treatment, right, more of them responded. But would that change the nature of their responses? I think the bigger issue is that of the people who had longer treatment, or the people who had longer treatment, more of them were more likely to be happy with the treatment, which is why they continued. I guess I don't care so much about the percentage of those people who responded. I more care about the percentage of those people who were more likely to be happy, and thus that's why they're in this group, than, say, the first group, right? More fans are going to continue on. So, answer choice B, probably keep it open, just because it seems to kind of be tapping into these differences. But C, patients who feel they are doing well in treatment tend to remain in treatment, while those who are doing poorly tend to quit earlier. Okay, that's exactly what we're talking about. So B is out, C is correct, or better. Keep it open. D, patients who were dissatisfied with their treatment were more likely to feel a need to express their feelings about it and thus to return the survey. This doesn't make a distinction between the two groups. It just says, hey, look, if you weren't happy, you were more likely to return the survey. Maybe that's why the percentages were so low, right? 20%, 36%, suggesting that so many people are unhappy. It's not because so many people are unhappy. It's just that the unhappy people are the ones returning the survey. And the happy people are like, I don't got time for this. That makes sense. E, many psychologists, but the fact that it makes sense doesn't have any bearing on the conclusion, right? The conclusion is like the longer treatment is more effective. Answer choice D is just explaining why the numbers are low in both groups. It doesn't explain the difference in the groups or comment in any way on that. And that's what we're really trying to figure out. Answer choice E, many psychologists encourage their patients to receive treatment for longer than 6 months. Okay, great. They encourage them to continue. Many. First of all, that's really weak. We don't even know how many that is. But even if it's most or all, it's like, okay, but how does that have any bearing on whether the treatment for 6 months or longer is more effective? If anything, this seems to strengthen the argument, right? If most psychologists encourage their patients to go longer, then they're probably doing that because the longer treatment is more effective. So that would strengthen the conclusion, and we're looking for something that weakens it. Answer choice C definitely weakens it. Answer choice B is wrong because we don't care about the percentage of people responding. We care about the kind of people responding. All right.